Hey, what's going on? It's AJ, and I'm going to share a concept that literally changed my life. And that's the whole idea that fat is nothing but fuel. Fat is just stored energy that the body hoards for survival. Now, our ancestors used to hunt and find food, but it wasn't so readily available. So they'd eat as much as they could in one sitting, and that stored energy would be fat in their bodies, and it would keep them surviving until the next big meal. Nowadays, food is very available, so we eat and eat and eat, and the food that doesn't get used for energy purposes gets stored as fat. So when you see a really overweight person, they're just walking around with tons of stored, untapped energy. And a really lean person is efficiently using the fat, the energy, and they have very small stores of it, so on and so forth. So think about yourself. I mean, when I was overweight and I saw myself and I was grabbing fat, I was like, wow, this is just stored energy. I gotta get rid of it. So we're gonna talk about two different types of fat. And there's visceral fat, where it's like hard fat that's found all around the organs. It's underneath the skin. And it's the kind of fat, like if you ever had an older dude come up to you with a big pot belly and they're like, here, touch my belly. You could literally punch it and it's rock hard. That's because it's tons and tons of stored, hard, marbleized fat. Kind of like when you get a steak and it's very hard. That's really bad because it's fat that's underneath the organs and it's all inside the body. And then there's subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat is the fat that's underneath the skin. So it's the kind of fat you could actually grab, mush, bite if you want to. It's actually the fat that's right underneath the skin and is very malleable and movable. So the key thing is you want to get your body to use your visceral fat and subcutaneous fat as fuel. And I'm going to share 3 tips that you probably heard of, but still to implement in your life, they're going to make a huge difference. Now, number 1, the fastest way to lose fat is actually decrease your calories. So the less calories that you use, the more fat you burn as fuel. So one way is to decrease and completely eliminate processed foods if you can. Now this is very simple. You go to ingredients label, and the longer the list of ingredients, the more processed it is. The simpler the ingredients, if it's like peanuts, salt, oil, that's the best way to go. The first ingredient is usually the most active part of the food. So if it's whole wheat bread, look for wheat, salt, water. If it's like enriched and it's like crazy terms and chemicals you've never heard of, stay away from it. So increase more natural foods, decrease processed foods. Second thing, you want to work in more intervals into your training. Now I'm a big believer in interval training, which means that you go really intense and then you slow it down. This tends to shock the body and it really burns more fat for fuel. There's a Japanese scientist named Izumi Tabata, and he created this awesome interval, and he tested it to see that it burns the most fat. 20 seconds intense, 10 seconds rest. And I actually have a video that I created about Tabata protocols, and if you look down below, you can read more about it. But put more intervals into your training. Weight training, every pound of muscle that you add through weight training, you're going to burn an extra couple of thousand calories a week. So you'll literally just burn fat by sitting down on the couch and doing nothing. Add more muscle. The third thing, and probably the simplest thing, is decreasing your liquid calories. Now I love to go to Starbucks. I love coffee. I'll sit down, I'll bring my laptop, and I'll just sit there, do work, check emails, but at the same time I'll observe the people around me. And I see that more and more people are ordering these giant, huge Frappuccinos, mochachinos, whatever you want to call them, and they're like 500-600 calories in liquid just sitting there. So that's really going to go right to your fat stores. It's very hard to take in that much sugar, that much excess calories, and burn it off. Get stored as fat, you walk around with it. So I'm like a big guy who drinks no calorie foods. I mean, no calorie drinks. So I like diet soda, I like Crystal Light, tea, water as much as I can. Why waste your calories on liquids? You can use it for better purposes. There's much better foods and much better calories to implement instead of liquids. So try to just eliminate any type of liquid calories you're taking in. Even like orange juice, even like soda, of course. Anything that has sugar, high calories. So very simple tips. I mean, if you just implement one of them, you're gonna see your body utilizing, your fat for fuel much more efficiently. So give it a shot and implement it the fast you can. Until next time, committed to your peak physique. Bye.